Alrighty, good morning. MacBean's Farms and Prepping and Scottish Fitness. Heading for my walk into the woods. We've had a nice change in weather. We went from the upper 80s, 90s, mid 90s to about 57 degrees right now. So I figured this would be a good time to take a hike into the woods and see what I can walk up to. I got a walking stick, mostly knock out spider webs. I do have a K-bar on me and other repellents. Wide brim hat. Any ticks that might fall from the trees should bounce off the hat and keep sliding on down. Here to show some of the nice foliage. These are those flowers that the butterflies really like. Now they're moving kind of slow with this snap, and I have a feeling they will probably start heading south. Because I have one video where there's one on the ground having a hard time flying because he's probably a little chilly for him to be moving like that. As it warms up, they'll probably get more active. Corn's about ready to come down. Last time I cut through this part of the field, I kicked up 30-40 dragonflies. So you can see with one overnight change of weather has changed greatly what I'm seeing out in the field. So usually I'd see about 15-20 monarchs out there feeding, and that's not the case now. It used to be all green. It's getting ready to harvest. Same thing with the soybeans out here. We had the iron weeds. So we still have flowers popping up. As long as there's flowers, well, then there's food for insects, which is food for birds, and it keeps going. So head to here. Here's my goal. Okay, so now let's up into the woods. So still pretty overgrown, and you kind of gotta pick and choose where the trail is, and then kind of look up ahead and make sure you don't step in any cobwebs. I feel like right up here, big old spider web, which I don't want to walk through. You know that feeling when you walk through a web, it's not enjoyable. So we still got a lot of cover throughout here. The leaves are starting to fall. You can see them on the ground. So the cover will get to be less and less as you come through here. October 1st, bow season opens up for deer. And they do it a little bit later because it'd be almost impossible to see anything right now. Cover is definitely on their side. Every now and then I stop and I just kind of pan through the area. Now it is cooler, so it keeps the bugs down a little bit, but I do have repellent on, mostly to keep the ticks from falling on me. This is kind of a known trail here, which we followed before. You can see a web up ahead. You kind of look for look for leaves floating, you know, in the middle of the air. That tells you there's a spider up there. So, doesn't hurt a spider, they just build another one during the day. And pretty soon they will go into hibernation. There's actually less webs today than there was last time I cruised through here. Last time I cruised through here, they were every 5 feet. So, back there is where I came up on that deer before. Which means they probably bed out here. And all I do is just kind of walk like you belong in the woods. Now, if they don't think you're going to see them, they will let you walk right by them. They don't perceive you as a threat. Probably step by more branches than I want to. But they're a little hard to avoid. They're like everywhere. They kind of gotta pick your trail. Here we've got a lot of trees fall down and a lot of new growth come through. Got some bees going through there. Nice big oak tree. It's one of them around here I used to hunt out of. Generally anything about that big or bigger you can put a ladder stand against. But some of these trees are so large that you can actually almost sit in the branches. So, more cobwebs. I'm kind of just following the trail where I can tell deer and other mammals have kind of cut through, making for an easy trail for me to follow. Got a lot of fruit falling on the ground. So this actually comes from a tree. We used to call them road apples. They're very hard. We used to throw them at each other when we were kids. They hurt. But, you know, kids do that. You can tell there's been a lot of activity through here. See all these weeds that are knocked down. Means deer have been coming through here on a regular basis. Matter of fact, they probably bed in this area, I would imagine. There's really no vehicles that can make it back this far. I'm going to try to go a little bit deeper in the woods this time. See how the weather is nice and cool. It makes for a pleasant walk. Last time I came out here, it was still pretty warm. And so this is the time of year to really start enjoying. And this is where I don't know if you can see them, but I got wild turkeys over here in the woods. Let's see if I can catch up to them. Probably going to be pretty difficult. But I had a hen. Yep, there he went right through there. So you may not have picked him up in the video. Ladder stand. Good place for a deer spot. Now see if I can walk through here without tripping. And maybe catch up to those. There they are. So they're right there in the woods. There's a hen right there. Should be able to see him moving through. So we got to see our wild turkeys. Now they can fly. I suppose if I press them too much, it will do exactly that. So today, we got to see wild turkeys. Let me cut this way and see if I can get another glimpse of them. Probably not, but it's worth a try. My attempt to get them to answer me back. So I think we got those on video. So if you move slowly and quietly enough, you can see what's back here. So it looked like there's at least 5 or 6 of them. That's a good amount. Well, there is a turkey season in the spring, but I don't hunt them. I would rather have the big fat farm raised ones. But now that they're starting to come out here in more numbers, maybe I'll harvest one next year. Oh, a deer. There they go. There's 3 of them. So I came up to them, upon them. They're heading back towards my house. So now, wild turkey and the triplets, which I've seen before. So they do like to bed out here. Hopefully the camera caught those good enough. I'll try to make a short on both the turkeys and the deer. So pretty nice hike so far. Wild turkeys and some white-tailed deer. So here you can see they were bedding. So this is where they lay down and rest. They have a really good view of what's approaching. The creek is behind them, so kind of a natural barrier. Any predator that would come through there would make enough noise probably to alert them. The only predator they have out here is a pack of coyotes. A large pack can take down a small deer. Generally the deer has to be somewhat injured for them to make the attempt. I did see one on the golf course take out a goose. He was bigger than the average coyote. I think it had a lot to do with his diet. Lots of geese on the diet. So it's been a while since I went this part of the woods. Let's see, more bedding area. The creek's right over there, so that's pretty easy. I think I'll catch the creek over there. Looks like there's a trail. Oh, squirrel. Squirrel. On the ground. Big red squirrel. That was a pretty good hop. Ooh. Almost walked into you. I don't think I've missed a branch yet. So, this is kind of a wetter area during the rains. So we'll cut over here, catch Mud Creek. So this is part of Mud Creek where I do my Randy bluegill relocation program. So you got cover. Oh, something's big in there. What I kick up. I hear something big moving through here. Maybe it's a beaver. Sounded like he was right here. So now my walking stick is useful for so something moved through here. Or my hearing's off. Oh, there it is. Something's shaking the weeds there. Damn it. Trying to find out what it is. We're going to hope it's not a skunk. So whatever it was, I think it has made its escape. Let's check the tracks. Got deer tracks. More deer tracks. Raccoon. Oh, big old bird just flew overhead. I'm gonna guess maybe it was a squirrel. They can make a lot of noise for their size. Walk along the bank here and it looks like a little easier way to come up. More deer tracks that come down here and drink. Oh yeah, definitely a water hole for them. Oh. Good thing I had that walking stick. Otherwise, I had a problem getting up that embankment. I'm not the young, spry, 185-pound athlete I used to be. I'm more built like a tank. Starting to hit the scales around 240 now. Where I want to be. Nice about being in the woods, it's just so relaxing and peaceful out here. You kind of got to pay attention where you're going. Something obviously you've been digging here. Loosening up the ground a lot. And you try to follow the natural trails as much as possible. Anytime it's going to be close, you're going to have a spider web. You just got to realize that. So, squirrel, deer, turkey, and a mystery one. So when I do walk around the webs, but actually they can build another web in about an hour. Hope you're enjoying the walk through the woods. I know I am. So like there's a big spider web between those trees. Looks like I got a little clearing here. Just as long as I knock this bush out of the way. Yeah, there we go. Heard something behind me. Not quite sure what it was. Anytime you have a area like this, you know you're going to have cobwebs. So you just got to use your walking stick to clear them out. And then when we get lots of rain, this runs off into the bigger creeks and flows into Mud Creek. which as you get further downstream gets larger because it has more and more feeders into it. So it's kind of like you hear a woodpecker up there on the hill. Let's go up the hill. See what we can find up here. Another prime area for hunting. This will probably bring me out to the field here pretty soon. I can hear something moving ahead of me. Here's an animal trail here. And here you got some sticker bushes. Another reason why you want to wear heavy clothing so you can get through this. And then you gotta try to kind of pick your way through. Fortunately, the animals are a little lower to the ground than I am. So sometimes I gotta be that tank again. But eventually, you can find an opening. You just have to be willing to walk laterally for a while. Okay. So I've come up through this area before. And I can see one building. Here we go. So I've done this trip already once. Once I get past this area, it'll be far easier going. So a good place to take a little breather. I got my little rugged hat. I think I bought this out by Monterey, California. At a gift shop by the one Redwood Forest Reserve that we went and checked out. And this is what this is really good for, is this type of hike. So I'm still out here in a nice wooded, shaded area. But we break out to the prairie area here, about another 30-40 feet. Let's go knock through it. You kind of push through it like that. Definitely tells me there's a web there. So, got the storage shed here. One of the neighbors. I think he's forgotten about this stuff. I wonder if any of that stuff is able to start or not. In this shed here, kind of pushed up against everything. We got a radiator, some old tires, some rims, post hole digger, some old farm tools. Looks like part of a disc harrow. Here's the almost safe ladder. Probably a ladder I would have used when I was a kid. Not so much now. So another kind of weed killer like that. These would be to knock down the weeds. Last time this thing's run, who knows. Whole gas can. Looks like a shovel for the kid. Some buckets. Little auger tool. Here's a jack. Yeah, that baby's pretty much froze up. They probably don't remember this stuff's back here. An old rake, some panels, some disc harrows. Yeah, what good would these be? Might be good for target practice. You know, maybe reinforce the wall. That's about it. If you're going to be a real scrapper. Looks like maybe they tried to come down here with something. I don't think animals would make this mark. Old shitter. Oh, there we go. Got a nice butterfly ahead of us. Cruising around. There he is. They are such pretty creatures. And we're coming up to the soybean field. Not too far from where I entered. So I'll kind of let you know how easy it is to walk in a circle. And one thing you gotta be really careful when you're in the woods is your gait tends to favor one side or the other. And if you walk far enough, you'll walk yourself in a circle. So, I don't remember this being here. Looks like we got a little hunting spot here. Probably to catch deer coming through this path here. Got ladders to get to it. This kind of reminds me of some of the places you would find in Fallout 3 or even 4. You'd find this shack back here. Usually would be some sort of raider in here or something, but you can tell. Got their camo pads. Looks like even someone just cooking. Brooms, lawn chairs. So, nice little shelter area. If you did get caught out here. There's no trailer. I was pulled behind a large mower. Little stool. So it's kind of a neat little place. Little hunter's hideaway. Ladder to go up there. This would probably be for maybe shotgun season. You have a kill zone there. And right here. Just nice little areas that you discover. Now, I can come around this corner and I can shoot back down further that way. Or I can, there's definitely a deer trail there. Head back to the house. So, over there is where I came in. I get enough of an angle, you'll be able to see the house. It's worth shooting a view down here. Got some vultures riding the wind. Let's see if I can scoop up on them. I should be able to see them. No vultures, which are usual. Soybean fields, corn fields. There's my windbreaker trees. My maple trees. More windbreaker trees. Now in the winter you'll be able to see the house from here. But right now it gets pretty well covered. Let's shoot down here a little bit. I got plenty of energy. I had a weight gainer for breakfast. Cup of coffee. Get a little caffeine going. When I get back, I'll make a bigger breakfast. And because the end of the tomatoes are coming, probably BLTs for lunch. I will do some throwing. That's nice and cool. So I'll get about probably 12 throws in, maybe 4 freestanding and 8 with a spin. And then early Saturday morning, see if we can zoom in on them. It's hard for me to tell if I have them. What I try to do is just look over the top of the phone. Oh, there's one right here. I got him. So they're just looking for something to eat. I think this is what I really enjoy about coming out here. So let's count the wild animals. Turkey vultures, which I see almost on a daily occurrence. Now that the DDT is no longer being used. Used DDT back in the 60s and 70s, you know, almost just about all wiped out birds of prey. Because what would happen is the mice and voles and rats would eat the seeds that now had a DDT in it, and the birds would eat the mice, rats, and voles. And when they'd lay eggs, the shells would be very skinny, and they'd break them just by roosting on them. So I remember when I was, you know, probably between 8 and 14 years old, seeing a hawk or an owl was a rare thing. And if you seen one every other year, you felt really good about it. Well, finally they stopped using the DDT. One of the good things the Environmental Protection Agency has done, and now I see hawks and vultures every day. I see owls, you know, when I'm out late at night on probably a weekly basis. So it was a good thing. So now you're just walking around the edge of the field looking for tracks. I've seen a bunch of deer tracks already. But this is how you know if there's anything different in your area. Like there's a deer track right there. Pretty old one. But they utilize this area a lot. And if the ground was softer, like if we would have had that rain that we were supposed to get last night, well then it would show what was fresh. But I'm glad it didn't rain, because it would have meant a road hike instead of a hike here through the woods. So, you know, I've got my walking stick. Got me a nice K-bar knife in case I had to chop any branches down. So here is, I don't know how apparent it is, but this is the animal trail. So this is something that your rabbits and skunks and possums and raccoons will use to get through the woods. Oh, there's my neighbor's shed out there, and that's her house way down there. So far we're all pretty spread apart. Now 20 years ago that house wasn't there. They had one neighbor, he sold like 3 properties, and they called him a fucking developer. One of the properties is the ones I live on. But town population hasn't changed too much in the last 20 years. And this is why I moved out as far as I did. You know, when we were living in Joliet, we were looking at Shoreward or Shanahan, and even Manuka. And I told the wife in 10, 15 years, these places will be as crowded as where we're living. And I was right. They are. Are there conveniences to it? Absolutely. you know, but I like it out here. It's nice and quiet. I can go for walks like this and not meet a soul. I can scare up wildlife, which is a resource. You know, things do go crazy or hectic in the cities. Yeah, I'm not there. So, got a bunch of dropped acorns. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll pick a few up, put them in my pocket, and then I'll throw them in my field. And eventually I start getting oak trees growing. I don't plant them or anything, I just throw them on the ground. I don't really have any squirrels coming over on a common basis yet, but I will. I got 3 oak trees now dropping acorns. So it's just a matter of time that they will come through. Anytime I walk, I pick up 3 or 4 acorns and just give them a toss. I do want my area, so, oh, here we go. So that is not a deer track. Let me get a close look on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a pad. So that is either going to be a... I'll do some research. Give me an idea how big the track is. There's my hand. So this is either a large coyote or maybe a lynx. A wolf pad would be bigger. I'm thinking coyote or bobcat or lynx. And that's why I go for these walks, because I want to see the signs. So here now we're getting further into the woods. Got a little patch here that they let grow. Got a lot of clover in it. I would probably guess it's a low area, not worth farming. Here's another animal trail. And I've been down this trail before. Now the reason I'm talking slowly and light is in case I come upon any wildlife. There's Mud Creek over there. So, got the creek coming through there. And you got Verizon marking their cable. Too funny. The hell would they be running through here? In the middle of nowhere. So I got some oak trees here. Looks like it's going to clear up a little bit more. And we'll see what I can walk up on. So it looks like a little bit of an opening. There's more of those horizon markers. Guess they're saying there's a cable there. There's a deer stand. It's a good place for one. If I owned the property, that's where I would put a deer stand. I do know the guys that hunt here. So there's another runoff. They're up there pretty tall, and the advantage of a deer stand is a lot of times the deer are not looking up. So he's right there. So the effective kill zone is probably from here to there. Hey, what you'd be wanting is them to come trotting down the edge here. A lot of times deer will do that. So let's go back into the woods here. This looks like a nice area to enter. Does look like there's a fence here though. I want to see if I can hop over it. Ah, here's another deer stand. So here's two deer stands right next to each other. And that one would have that area covered. Actually a pretty good setup. So we got a fence. And it looks like an electric fence. But there's a low area here. I can hop over. Then there's a building. So that would be considered a blind that they have. This is why I hike. Because these are areas of interest. So, wow. Something big pooped there. All I got to say. And here's another stand. It looks like they probably did some clearing here at one time. Give them better areas of fire. But here's a nice opening that's coming right into the creek. So had I not come down here. So there's the blind. There's probably entrance on the other side. Not really interested in that. But say I had to bug out, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Now it's interesting because this used to be an old hopper, so this can actually be moved. This one's mobile. So that is interesting. If they wanted to, they can move this whole apparatus to another area. And then I won't peek inside. There's a window. So, hey, they got a heater. I bet you it's one of those propane heaters because there's a propane tank. Stool to sit down with. And carpeted. So this would be a good shelter. So had I hike and bad weather came by right away, I can come here for shelter, even heat. That's pretty smart of them. Okay, the weather is just so perfect to do this. So this is why I was going to go to the gym tomorrow. I had a feeling today would be such a good day for a hike. This is going to be a long video to upload. I'm trying to sneak up here on the creek. So this falls into Mud Creek. This actually is Mud Creek. And you'd expect a lot of wildlife in this area. So, coming through a little quietly. Okay, there's more of this electric fence. I don't know if it's on or not. And I'm not in the mood to check it out. When we were kids, you would grab your buddy and grab the fence. And if it was live, your buddy would be the one that gets zapped. Things we used to do to each other. Keep ourselves amused. Well, we didn't have Nintendos and Xboxes and PlayStations. So this is what we did. We went and explored. So I still do. And kids, this is what you should do. Now, if you're young and you're going out in the woods, make sure you go out with a group. Alright. Even here I have my phone, which has a signal, so if I did have an issue I can call for help. But I do have implements of self-defense in case that track was something bigger, a bigger cat than I thought it was. I have a repellent for that. This is out here. I mean, you can't get this. This is one of the main reasons why I don't live in the city. So I think they might let cattle in here from time to time. I'm seeing some big spoor. So something chewed that down. It's hollow inside. Once again, let's peek here at the creek. This is a source of water. There's probably fish in there. I think we'll get a good angle over there. There I'm getting a nice cardio exercise. And it's really good for the mental health. I mean, I feel peaceful. And I tell you, it's been probably about 15 years since I've come this far down into the woods here. Almost forgot about this area. What a picnic area, huh? There's the water. There's the cow shed. So I know we have cattle in here. Hopefully not right now. If I came here about 3, 4 in the morning, maybe even 5, I guarantee you, I'd come up to raccoons. Now they're sleeping now. So there's Kelly's farm. He is the first one to take his corn down every year. And there it is. It's been taken down already. That's the one thing everybody talks about, how he takes the corn down. So I imagine this is probably where a lot of those wild turkey hang out. That I scooped up earlier. And the cattle probably doing really good. There's mole tracks there. Cattle's probably doing a really good job of keeping the weeds down. Looky here. Man, this is like a park. Didn't even know it was here. A nice relaxing area. Good place to have a sit, which I'm going to do. Try to peek over here at the creek. See if I scare anything up. Really likely place for a lot of wildlife to hang out. As much fun as this is, I do think I'm going to have to be, and there's more woods over there. I just have to go across the creek to get to it. But save that for another day. Just shoot down here right away and come down. So usually my woods hikes are only about a mile and a half. This one, actually, I think it's going to be about 2.5, maybe even more. And I didn't have to go to the park to get there. So here's a nice little branch for me to Can you see it? I think you can. For me to sit on. There's another one right over there. Natural little area to rest. Go back up on the hill there and then head back home because it gets pretty thick over there. So I don't want to bust through that. I've already been doing enough of that. But yeah, you can tell that they let cattle here. So tomorrow, I'll be in the gym again. I think I want to do a bench day, and then I think I might finish up with some light deadlifts. Not going to do a lot of them. I haven't done them for a while, but I'm going to start back up on that. Just like I'm starting back up on the big bird one overhead. Started back up on the squats and shoulder presses. So my schedule is probably going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. at the gym for my live streams. And then Tuesday and Thursday will be me doing stuff around the house, throwing. And then Saturday, when weather permits it, I'll go to the high school in the morning and throw on the pad, because it's really a whole different feeling. I'll start doing some balancing exercises, and I'm going to start doing a lot more of just practicing the spin without a disc. I'm trying to get like 20 of those at least 3 days a week. I'd like to say every day, but it just ain't going to happen. So I got to be honest with myself, and I want to protect the knee. But thanks everybody for joining. I will post this on both my MacBean's Farms and Prepping and on my Scottish Fitness, because hikes are fitness also. And then Farms and Prepping with all the animal life in that. I think my followers there will appreciate it. Although I know a lot of you follow both channels, and I do appreciate that also. Also, I am thinking already far ahead for next July for Nationals in the Senior Olympics. So I'm going to be doing a lot of practicing there. And then I am posting up my PayPal link if you want to become a sponsor. If you put your name in there, I will have a list of people to thank, which I'll probably do on a monthly basis. If you want to do it, say anonymous, that is fine also. And I'll probably post that on Facebook too. I'll make a quick video on that. But the donations is so I can go and stay in a motel room and so eat some good meals, and maybe even take the wife out for a nice dinner if I can talk her into going with me, which I hope I can. It's in Pittsburgh, and Pennsylvania is a beautiful state, and I definitely look forward to being there. And it also puts me in not too far of driving distance of my buddy Robert. We served together in the 101st Airborne, and he was both in Iraq and Afghanistan, kind of my war hero. So I want to sit there and maybe have a chance, maybe him to come up and see me, or me to shoot down there and see him. So PayPal, I think, is at John MacBean 1, and any donations would be appreciated. I don't care if it's $1. Do it through the PayPal, because if you do it through YouTube, they take about 30%. But if you want to do it through YouTube too, that's fine. It's an easy way for me to keep track of it. So let's head back, and I'll keep the video going, and possibly we might scare into something else. You never know. This is going to take a while to download. It's coming up on 55 minutes, so it's going to be an over an hour video. But you got to do those. You got to have long videos too. Shorts don't pay anything. They're talking about changing that so the shorts will get you ad revenue. I'll believe it when I see it. Got a lot of tracks here. So you got a lot of animals walking through here. Got a lot of spoor. Oh, there he is. So look at that. He's coming around the corner. There he is. Oh, vulture. There he goes. They're just cruising right overhead. Pretty cool. That's the advantage when you're quiet, somewhat quiet, and alert. So even here out in the woods, I'm not wearing earbuds, not bebopping, and oblivious to what's going around me. The whole idea is to enjoy the woods. How the hell would you be listening to music out here? Wood's got its own music playing. There he is. He's right above me. Now when I come out in the open, I'll probably get a better view of him if he's still in the area. Understand they can cover a lot of ground just soaring in the air. You know, so the time I come out there, he can be a half mile away from me, not even trying. So we'll get some decent shorts out of here. Hopefully the wild turkeys will show up clear enough, and also the deer. I know the squirrel probably not going to show up, but I know I got the vultures really good. So here, the caution, rise and buried cable. Now it's got to be a caution because guy's tall enough to trip me up, as it did. So now, there he is. I see him, he's right out there. Let me zoom in on him. Hopefully we got him. It's hard to see through the phone, so a lot of times they just kind of disappear on me. There he is. So I kind of just go by. I can't tell if I have them or not. Probably not. It's probably too high. So we'll shoot down the magnification. And the next time he cruises over, because they're not going to see much in the woods. So they definitely want to fly over the soybean field. And what they're looking for is just dead things. They are part of the cleanup crew. You know, recycle it. So we should be coming back up on that big track again. You can actually see my tracks too. I see deer and bird tracks. Now that I'm under cover, probably will not be able to see me too easily. So you might swing out here. I could even swing out behind me. Acorn City. I've already got a pocket full. I don't really need any more. He lands up in the air, lands on the ground. Always trying to see what's going on because there's deer tracks there. Which tells me this is a popular trail for them. So where those guys have those deer stands, they're sitting in pretty good shape. Now if I wanted to add one, I put one right there. Give me a nice shot right here. Now in Illinois you're not allowed to bait. Some states you are, where you're allowed to bait for a while and it has to be removed so many weeks before season. You know, bait means you throw a bunch of corn out there or a salt block, something that brings them to that area. And it definitely kind of takes the sporting out of it, puts it really heavily in your advantage. I used to feed them in the middle of my property. That's not where I hunted them. But, you know, did it bring them down the trails? Yeah, sure it did. But if I take one a year, that's it. Get it processed, and generally that's all we eat until it's gone. And I don't have to buy red meat at the grocery store, which is expensive. So, one thing you might want to do is stock up for the winter. You might want to get something for secondary heat. Craft propane. Make sure you get a full tank for the winter starts. I'm paying down my bill, so it'll come and top me off. I hope to have it paid off completely by mid-October. We'll not have to run the furnace until probably November. The house holds a lot of heat. I'll probably give it a test just to make sure it works. But I do use secondary sources, candles, electric heaters, to kind of slow down the use of the propane. And I'll probably keep the house, well, I have control of it at about 60 degrees, maybe even 58. And that allows my fuel to last probably about 20% longer. I know they know how many square footage I have, they know how much it takes for the furnace, and they'll usually be calling me saying, yeah, you probably should be about 20%. I said, I'm at 45%. And they're like, wow. And it costs money to heat the house, but you do want to heat it. But at night, we like it cooler. And during the day, no one's home, no reason to have it heated. So basically, once the wife goes to work, I'll set it down to about 58. And then when she gets home, she'll probably kick it up to 64, 66. And then on the weekends, we fight over it. But we do kind of like it. We both like it in the cooler temperatures. So that is helpful. So here I am back up under the edge of the bean field again. So you figure my average speed is probably about 2 miles an hour because I'm going through the woods. I've been going for a little over an hour, so I've at least covered 2 miles. I can walk faster once I get in the open area. So this is where we popped out of the woods the first time. So I'm kind of glad we took that extra hike. I still haven't found that big batch of rocks I dropped off here for safekeeping. I think once the oh, there's a nice rock. Take that one with me. Don't really need the walking stick anymore. Once the fields get taken down, it'll probably be a little easier to find. Or I'll find it in the spring. So basically, I'm always just watching the ground. That's how I found the rock. It's just nice, got nice color, and I'll take it out there by the pond. Or the wife's going to use it for her flower garden up front. Yeah, well, it'll get used one way or another. So it's just kind of show you what country life is like, and you need to go out and enjoy it. I know there's people that live out in the country and they stay inside all day. I'm like, why'd you move out here? You have done that anywhere. I'm outdoors as often as I can be. It's good for your health. It's good for your joints, good for circulation, good for fitness, burn off calories. There's just so many benefits to this. Like, why wouldn't you? Oh, I don't know if I'll kick up anything of interest, but I'll keep it going just for in case it does. I'll get the phone charged, probably get me a bite to eat, and then the next thing I'll do is do some disc throwing. And then it'll be lunchtime, and it'll be time to head to work. But I did make a change on what I'm doing for work. So I'm not really going to do the overtime during the week. And I'm just going to do it on Sunday. And Sundays, probably I'll do either 8, 10, or 12 hours. Because I took last Sunday off for the Senior Olympics. I'm doing a 12-hour shift. It's not bad because it gives me a lot of stuff to get loaded up. Now granted, it benefits first shift more than it benefits me. But, you know, it actually benefits me because then they can preload some of the more difficult loads because they don't have to load things to keep the line running. So it kind of benefits. We've been running pretty steady since Tuesday. I think we'll start getting low on product today, and then probably sometime, I imagine on third shift, they'll stop pushing. Because generally it takes 10 hours for them to get out of the furnace, so we've got to push 20 empties in. And Friday, third shift doesn't come in because tonight is actually their Friday. So I imagine we will be pushing, they will be pushing, somebody will be pushing empties by tomorrow morning. And Friday is usually a easy day for us unless they plan on running through the weekend. And that's basically on a volunteer basis. And fortunately I'm taking Saturday off. I already got plans. And it is my family day to spend with the wife, so it's important to me. Here we are coming up to the cornfield, kicking up like grasshoppers everywhere. Yeah, I imagine about a week or two they'll be taking this corn down. The way the weather is, this weekend would actually be perfect timing to do that. Now it's warmed up a little bit, probably in the 60s. And of course I've warmed up because I've been walking so much. See more butterflies hopping around. They've warmed up. Won't be surprised there's a couple more archers up here feeding. Yep, there goes a smaller butterfly. I haven't seen any right yet, but I'm sure they'll be out here. So, thanks for joining me on this walk. I appreciate it. Once again, this is MacBean Farms and Prepping and MacBean Scottish Fitness. Signing out. If you do want to sponsor me for my trip next year, Pittsburgh, my PayPal is at John MacBean1. There's an A between that M and C. Or you can do it through one of the chats or super chats. I will give a shout out to everybody who does donate. And I'll be vigorously putting the practice in. My desire is to throw at least 140 feet at nationals. And what would be great is if I medal. that would be fantastic. It's going to be tough. A lot more competition from lower 48. I don't know if anybody's going to travel from Hawaii or Alaska, but I imagine it's going to be a huge event, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, thank you for joining us. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you on the live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time.